Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Hotep, peace to the family. Once again, I'm Shem Hill, and you are now watching the final conclusion or final part of a video series connected with my book, What is the Higher Self? And again, this is just a series of tutorials. There'll be other videos as well, but this is kind of give you some insight on some of the things that are in this book. So with this, I wanted to talk on specifically the aspect of the definition as mentioned in the Moorish questionnaire. In the Moorish questionnaire, the quick answer that's given to what is the higher self is that the higher self is the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life and breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. So I wanted to touch on those two things real briefly. Mother of virtues. Why is the term mother of virtues used? Well, when we're dealing with the mother of virtues, we're dealing with the feminine principle. The feminine principle is that feminine nature, the mother nature. What is it that the mother does? What is it that the woman is capable of doing? Well, one of the things is that the woman is the first teacher of the child. You've heard the term, when you raise a woman, you raise a nation. That is because it is the woman that teaches the children. And so when you're dealing with virtues, virtues are that which are taught first through the mother. And one of the things that we speak on in the Holy Quran and the Moorish Science Temple of America is the 12-step ladder, which is actually 12 virtues that are taught to the children. So that ties into that. There's also a writing, an ancient Kemetic writing called the Kybalion. And the Kybalion deals with 7 principles. One of the principles is the principle of gender. So it speaks on how the feminine principle is not less than the masculine, nor is the masculine less than the feminine, but they balance each other out. In Chinese philosophy, or Tao, as they call it, the yin and the yang. So it's very important that we understand these things about the mother being the nurturer, the one who gives birth. Every person comes through the womb of a woman. So the virtues first come by way of the mother. So that's the mother principle. In short, I go a lot deeper into it in the book, but that's just to give you some insight on what we deal with when we talk about the higher self being the mother of virtues, which is very rare when we speak about spirituality, because in dealing that we're in a patriarchal society, a lot of things are spoken from the male point of view as far as spirit, Father God, things of that nature. So that's very key. The other thing that I want to touch on is the second part, where we talk about harmonies of life. So the mother of virtues and harmonies of life. So what does it mean when we talk about harmonies of life? Well, what I did was I went into the etymology of the word harmony. Harmony comes from the Greek word harmonia, which means joint or agreement. So just by that etymology of the word, when we speak of harmonies of life, we're speaking of the agreement of life, or the agreeable things that exist within life. So your higher self is all those things that are agreeable, all those things that work together, that doesn't cause chaos. The lower self is what the higher self is not. So the lower self would be that which caused chaos in your life. And again, as we mentioned in the previous video, we spoke about how the lower self is in terms of causing that chaos, that body that passes away, that illusion. So likewise, that which doesn't pass away is that which is in nature, that which is always in harmony. And it also ties into tones. We talk about harmonious tones. And I go into the book in depth about certain tones that are used to develop your higher self, or to attune to your higher self, which is done in all different practices, spiritual practices, esoteric practices throughout the world. So these are key things that we have to keep in mind when we speak about the higher self being the mother of virtues, that quality, that feminine principle that nurtures, that gives the nature, that molds and actually makes you a better person, that compassion. That's the feminine principle. And also the harmonies of life, those things which are in agreement with each other and continue to allow you to make the transition from the physical to the spiritual and to the higher planes. So this concludes our series of the tutorials connected with the book, What is the Higher Self? And whenever you get a chance, I hope you get the book and read it for yourself, and I hope you enjoy it. So with that, I say peace.